It's time for another city update. What's up everyone, Stonewall here, and I have a lot of city updates for you since last time. I counted 14 and you're going to see them all. If you remember in my last update video, I expanded the size of my city, giving me 3 times as much space. And over this past month, I think I did a pretty good job of putting a dent into that empty space with all the mocks and alt builds I did. But as you can see, there's still plenty of empty space out there, so if while you're watching you have any ideas, definitely make sure to let me know in the comments. So the first thing isn't actually new, I just keep forgetting to tell y'all about it, and that's the name of my LEGO city. Welcome to Fredericksburg. Now if you're unfamiliar with Texas geography, the center of the state is known as the Hill Country, and it's a nice area with hills. And probably the best well-known town in the Hill Country is Fredericksburg. And just east of Fredericksburg there's a town called Stonewall, which is obviously the name of this channel and my trail name / YouTube name. So just between those two cities we have our growing LEGO city of Fredericksburg. The next thing I did to the city was add some road plates, and it's kind of a chaotic story. So these new road plates are pretty much always on sale for 20% off, both at Walmart and on Amazon. But sure enough, now that I actually need to get some more, there's a great road plate shortage or something. I managed to buy a couple from Walmart online, but they ended up canceling my order. And then the prices shot up to like $30, which is crazy. I'm not going to do that. But just recently the price fell back down to $16, so I tried buying them again online. And thankfully they just came in, and I was able to include them in this city update. And you can probably tell that I extended the median with the flowers on it. And I also decreased the width of it from 2 studs down to 1 stud, just to give the cars a little more room in that lane. Next I switched the Heartlake Hotel and the Friends building. I think the hotel works a lot better here on the end. Now you can see into the bakery and lobby through those big windows on the side, which probably helps attract more customers. Also, the balcony on the second floor suite now has a nice view over the street corner, rather than being sandwiched between 2 buildings. And then right next door you probably noticed the new sidewalk to my friend's modular alt build, and I recently did a video on that. I really like how this turned out, and it looks so much better now and fits really well into the styling of the other modulars. I guess we'll just keep going down the street here. You see that I built and added the LEGO bookshop modular to the city. It was a pretty fun build, and it was actually only my second official LEGO modular that I did. And I really like how it has 2 separate buildings. I put the townhouse on this side, and then I put the bookshop half across the street. I think this half goes really well with the architecture of the Parisian restaurant and the old yellow portion of the pet shop cafe. If you look here, the grandson got his plane stuck in the tree, and his grandpa is trying to help him get it down. You can also see that the grandma is anxiously watching across the street. Additionally, I like how there's a bluebird nest in the tree because down the street you have its partner gathering some food from the police station. Next, if we come over to the toy store, I added this path up to the entrance. I just used various 1x1 pieces that I had lying around, and I winded it through the garden out front. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and now you can access the toy store from either side of the corner. There's also a little boy here waving at the shop owner who always has the best toys in stock for him. On the back of the toy store, I added some railing pieces on the second floor. Originally there were just some tan bricks here, and I have to say it looks infinitely better now that the railing continues all the way from the Parisian restaurant. This is the view I have from my desk, so I just might appreciate this upgrade the most. While we're back here, I'll point out some of the little scenes that I've created throughout the city. Of course you have the marriage proposal going on the backside of the Parisian restaurant, and then on the back of the bookshop you see there's a gentleman suitor trying to woo his lady interest up in the balcony. Down the street at the family house we have a father and son playing hockey, although I think the dad might be having a little bit of a hard time there. Across the street we have a guy driving his hot rod in front of the school trying to impress everyone. I mean, come on, who would do that, right? And then this one might be my favorite. Down the main street we have a police chase in progress with the cop pursuing the crazy chicken biker. Next I put the executioner back here chopping some pumpkins because he really hates pumpkins. And then lastly, you have a few things happening at the tuning shop Shrimp Shack. The used car salesman is eagerly trying to close this deal with this lady. There's someone bringing their car in for a tune-up, and then there's a frightened customer running down the stairs from the Shrimp Shack. It looks like the haunted part of the restaurant is starting to emerge. Oop, that guy better watch his back. So obviously you can tell that I did place the tuning shop right here next to the abandoned building. It might move around in the future, but I like it on the back row with that tall sign. Currently it's one of the tallest things in the city. But I think this building could also work on a corner if need be. While we're on the outskirts over here, I'll point out that I had to add another street pole piece to support the flying dragon around the castle. The single one is really starting to bend, but so far 2 seems to be working fine. If you look down here, I placed Jack and Parker in the kayak and the castle's moat because it's the only water I have currently in the city. But it looks like they're about to come up on a big surprise. Jumping back to the other side of the city, you may have noticed that I placed the Stranger Things duplex in the residential area next to the Hilltop house. It looks like there's a search currently going on for their Demogorgon neighbor. And then for now, I have Hagrid's house right next door. Once I get all the pieces to build a second floor, I think it might actually look better next to the other townhouses, but for now, with just 1 floor, I think it looks pretty good in the residential area. And then I also added a few tiles here and there just to bring the city together a little more. You can see that I added a curb out front of the Hilltop house, the Friends school, and the toy store. And then last, and probably least, I added some 1x1 plates to both the tow truck and the green tuner, right above the wheel wells, just to try and fill in those awkward gaps a little bit. So there you go guys, the city is really starting to look a lot fuller, especially with all those recent mocks that I did. Now I think my plan going forward is to add one official LEGO modular building for each city update, so please let me know in the comments which one you think I should do next. Currently I have Assembly Square, Corner Garage, Daily Bugle, and the Spring Lanterns Festival. I think I might be leaning towards Corner Garage just because I think it could work well on the corner up here, but I'm really curious to see what y'all think. And if you want to check out some of the mocks that were in this update, there's a playlist right here for you. Also, feel free to subscribe so you won't miss the next update. Otherwise, thanks for visiting Fredericksburg, and I hope you come back soon.